One thing that is quite unmistakable this time of year is the presence of pumpkins, and I really do enjoy a good pumpkin, and I really do like using it in some recipes. The other thing I really like is chocolate, and so this recipe combines two things that are really good and surprisingly very good together. Today on Jay's World Kitchen, I'm going to show you a remarkably quick and easy, delicious chocolate pumpkin marble bread, and it really doesn't take a lot of time to put this incredible recipe together. I'm going to start off with an 8.5 by 4-inch bread pan, which I've just greased quite well, and we're going to just set that aside. We're also going to set our oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. And now in a medium bowl, I'm going to put 3/4 cup of regular white sugar, and to that I'm adding 2 large eggs, and we're just going to lightly whisk those together. And now into that I'm going to add 1/2 cup of melted unsalted butter. Now add 1/4 cup of milk. And now, of course, my favorite, we're going to add 3/4 cup of canned pumpkin puree. And I must emphasize, this is not a pumpkin pie filling, it is pumpkin puree. And then into this 1 teaspoon of vanilla. And now we're going to slowly add some dry ingredients. We're going to start off with a sieve, because we really do want to make sure that we're removing any lumps or anything from this. And I'm now going to add in approximately 3/4 cup of regular flour. And now into that we're also going to sift in 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and finally 2 teaspoons of pumpkin pie spice. Now if you don't have pumpkin pie spice together, you can simply make this quite easily using 3 tablespoons of ground cinnamon, 2 teaspoons of ground ginger, 2 teaspoons of nutmeg, 1.5 teaspoons of ground allspice, and 1.5 teaspoons of ground cloves. And you can store that in a container and just pull it out when you need. And this time of year, I'm sure you'll need it quite a bit. So we're going to add in those 2 teaspoons of pumpkin pie spice. And now we're going to use just a rubber spatula like this, and we're gently going to fold these ingredients all into the pumpkin mixture. And we're just going to keep doing that until it's all well blended. Now, once our mixture is nice and smooth like that, what we're going to do is we're actually going to divide it into approximately 2. And again, you don't have to measure this exactly, but you just want to separate about half of it into another bowl. Now into our second bowl, what we're going to do is we're going to put our sieve back on, and we're going to add 1/4 cup of unsweetened cocoa powder. And once again, using a spatula, we're now going to gently fold that in to this half of the mixture. Now, if you're enjoying this video, please go ahead and hit that like button. It really does help YouTube to recommend my content to viewers such as yourself. Now that that is nice and smooth and well blended in, we're just going to set that aside for just a moment and go back to our original mixture. And all we're going to do here is add in another 1/4 cup of flour. And once again, we're going to use our spatula just to blend that in nice and gently. Now, once that is nice and smooth, we're going to take our loaf pan. And we're going to start off just with a couple of spoonfuls on the side. Like that. And then in the middle, we're going to add in our chocolate. And then start a second layer alternating. So now we're going to put the chocolate on top on the edges. And put our pumpkin down the center. Now, of course, the wonderful thing about this is that you can get quite creative as well. You could actually add in chocolate chips or something else that you might enjoy. Some people would enjoy raisins with that pumpkin profile flavor. I like it just like this, but you can do whatever you like, of course. What you're going to do now, though, is you're going to take a skewer such as this, and we're just going to basically do some big figure of eights here. And what we're doing is we're sort of marbling that batter together. It's not going to be perfect. You're never going to get it absolutely perfect. But we do want to try and get some nice marbling going by semi-mixing them together like that. Now, if you're enjoying this video, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to turn on the notifications so that you know when my next video posts. And now our batter is ready to go into our 350 degree Fahrenheit oven for 50 to 55 minutes, or just until the center is not sticking to a skewer. Now, while that's baking in the oven, I'd like to take a quick moment to say a special thank you to all of my supporters on Patreon. Without their financial support, this channel would absolutely not be possible. Now, if you'd like to find out more about Patreon and how you can help financially support this channel from as little as $5 a month, please click on the Patreon link down below in the comments section. Now, I have to tell you that the air is just permeated with this amazing mix of pumpkin and chocolate. The bread came out perfectly at, for me, 50 minutes in my oven, but again, up to 55. You just want to make sure that a skewer in the center comes out nice and clean, but it just absolutely is incredible smelling. It just really is amazing, and I love that there's this nice crust. Now, you can actually pop some large crystal sugar on the top before you bake it, and you'll get a sort of crystal type crunch on the top there, which is going to be delicious too. I'm actually really excited to try this. I'm going to try and get a piece that's got a bit of both the pumpkin and the chocolate. That is incredible. One always worries when you have something with pumpkin in that it's going to become overwhelming, but this is wonderful. The blend of the flavors is so good. You can obviously taste the pumpkin in there. You can taste the chocolate in there. You can also taste a nice subtle hint, actually, of that pumpkin pie spice in there. I really like this bread. I think this would be great with chocolate chips in it as well. If you're a chocoholic like me, you've got to give this a try. And if you do, I'd love to hear from you in the comment section below how this turned out for you and what you did to make this recipe unique to you. Now, if you'd like to see some more of my content, you can go ahead and follow me on all of my social media, and all of those links are down below in the comment section as well. If you'd like to try some more of my bread recipes, you can click on this playlist right here. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, happy eating.